واحسب أن الدين بعيد عن حب وحياة وبها.
If you feel like you are constantly asking for advice, doubting yourself, or waiting for a sign, this is it. You already know what to do, but you are just scared to trust your own voice. And quit. It is time to stop silencing the wisdom Allah already placed within you. As-salamu alaykum, my beautiful Limitless Queens. Welcome to another episode of the Limitless Queens podcast, where we define what it means to be a powerful, faith-driven woman in today's world. I am your host, Zeesalv, or you can call me Z for short, your sister on this journey of growth, confidence, self-love, and spiritual elevation. Today's message is one I pray touches your heart deeply, because this isn't about the word says or what the algorithm favors. It is about coming home to yourself, to your intuition, to your instinct, to your truth. Because Queen, you already have the answers. You've just been taught not to listen. And we really need to talk about that. From the time we were little girls, we were praised for being agreeable, for being well-behaved, for listening to others more than listening to ourselves. Some of us were told, don't be difficult. That is just in your head. Why do you always have to question everything? And slowly, our inner compass got quieter. You were taught to outsource your voice, to make your decisions based on what your parents think, what your friend says, what social media approves of. And for many Muslim women, this is even more layered, because we are told that trusting ourselves is somehow arrogant or dangerous. But Queen, there is a difference between arrogance and inner alignment. You were not created to be confused forever. You were created with a fitrah, a natural inclination toward truth. And that includes the truth that Allah placed in your soul. The Quran tells us that the soul is aware, that our nerves and our hearts can be purified, can be elevated, but also can be drowned in noise. And that noise often comes from overconsumption, people pleasing, constant distraction, ignoring the signs. You are not lost, Queen. You are overstimulated. Imagine trying to hear a whisper in a concert hall. You won't catch it unless you quiet the noise. The same is true for your inner knowing. Allah gave you wisdom, He gave you discernment, but if you never pause, never reflect, you will keep asking people for clarity on things Allah already whispered to your heart. This is why stillness is sacred. Zikri is powerful because it clears the mind. Journaling is powerful because it gives language to your thoughts. Reflection is also powerful because it returns you to your soul. The more you listen, the clearer it becomes. Wait, let's be clear on this. I'm not saying follow your nerves in rebellion against Allah. I'm saying listen to the voice that aligns with your higher self. The voice that aligns with truth, obedience, and self-worth. There's a voice inside you that knows that man isn't good for you. That job is draining your soul. That friend is no longer aligned with you. That path is calling you home. And every time you ignore that voice, something inside you dies a little. Not because you are dramatic, but because you are betraying your own soul. Obedience to Allah includes obedience to your fitrah. Think of Prophet Musa alayhi. Before he received direct revelation, he already had an inner knowing, a sense that Fir'aun's way was wrong. He followed that instinct, that discomfort, and it led him to divine instruction. You are not a robot waiting for a sign to drop from the sky. You are a woman of depth. Allah placed intelligence, emotion, spirit inside you. Don't dismiss it. Let me ask you, Queen, have you ever felt constant anxiety before a decision, even after asking everyone for advice? Deep exhaustion after being around someone? A sense of guilt for choosing what feels right, even when it is not harmful? These are signs you are not honoring your knowing. You are outsourcing your clarity. And what happens when you keep doing that? You become confused, bitter, spiritually numb. emotionally exhausted. Ignoring yourself is a slow form of self-abuse. And the more you do it, the harder it becomes to recognize your own voice. So how do we return to ourselves? Let me give you some practical steps. 1. Start with silence. Create space in your day where there is no input, no scrolling, no distractions. Just sit, breathe, and listen. 2. Practice journaling after Salah. Let your thoughts pour onto paper. Ask yourself, what am I pretending not to know? What would I do if I trusted myself fully? You need to know the difference between trauma and truth. Sometimes the voice in your head is fear, not faith. This is why healing is key, so you don't confuse your wound for your wisdom. 4. Seek Allah's guidance, then trust your peace. Allah answers in many ways. Sometimes through doors closing, sometimes through God's ease, sometimes through things working out unexpectedly. But the answers often lies in how it feels in your soul. 5. Stop asking everyone else first. Before testing 5 people for advice, ask yourself. You might be surprised how clear the answer becomes. Queen, you already know that thing you've been debating about, crying over, stressing about. Deep down, you already know. But knowing isn't the hard part. Trusting yourself enough to act on it, that is the real work. You are not broken. You are not crazy. You are not behind. You are simply being called to go inward again, to trust the same Allah who placed your heart in your chest. Also place trust in your spirit. So listen, because when you do, Queen, life becomes less about guessing and more about aligning. Lastly, if this episode speaks to your soul, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss a moment of healing, elevation, and faith-based growth. We are building a powerful space for women like you, and I would love for you to be part of it. Until next time, inshallah, don't just be good, be obedient to Allah, true to yourself, and limitless in your elevation. As-salamu alaykum.
أحسب أن الدين بعيد عن حب وحياة وبه